Powerful men don't argue, they don't chase, and they don't over-explain. They can actually outsmart anything or anyone without even raising their voice. In this video, I'm going to show you and explain how to dominate conversations, relationships, and situations without even saying a single word. And if you're interested in becoming a calmer, more composed, powerful man in this way, let me help you. Book a free discovery call with me. The link's in the description down below. We know the alternative as men and as people when we enter into an argument, a disagreement, or any interaction with a difficult person. We become provoked, we become triggered, and we lose control. Our natural inclination is to be aggressive, and our wiring and our dialogue that we have is so messed up. So let's say we're having an interaction with a very disrespectful woman, a woman that talks down to us, who looks at us as less than, has no respect despite what we do and how much we do, etc. And our ego, our fragile ego, gets hurt. We say to ourselves, who is she to say this to me? Who is she to act like this to me? I do so much. I sacrifice this. I go above and beyond. How dare she? I'm going to get aggressive, raise my voice, get personal and nasty in my responses. Okay, how about friends? And these could be male friends as well. They have a couple of drinks and they say some uncomfortable things. They get very personal with their own insecurities projecting on you. And it's the same conversation. How dare they speak to me like this? I would never talk to them the way they're talking to me. Who are they to act like that? I've done everything for them. I've stood by them. I've been an excellent friend. They're not being a friend. I'm going to get nasty, aggressive, hit them where it hurts. Okay, what about family? There's no more comfortable dynamic than with parents, siblings, cousins, whatever. But then after way too many drinks at Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever, or they get triggered or provoked, they use you as the emotional punching bag. And once again, I'm too old for this crap. Why am I putting up with this nonsense? Why are they acting this way? How dare they? My ego is fragile. It's hurt. I'm going to hit them where it hurts. I'm going to get aggressive, raise my voice. I'm going to cause a scene. How dare they? I'm a man now. But there's nothing wrong with thinking or acting that way. The problem is, it doesn't outsmart, outclass, or outmaneuver these people. At the end of the day, people are unpredictable. People are unreliable. People are going to let you down. People are going to hurt you. And people are unstable. And this applies to everyone. Even the healthiest, even the most put together and respectful person will let their guard down and take their anger and frustration out on you. The stronger, more dominant and assertive and masculine a man you are. Why? Because they assume you can take it. Now, if they're like this all the time, if they're hurting you all the time, if they're nasty and vindictive on a daily basis, no matter what, that's a different story. But at the same time, when you least expect it, when you least want it, someone's going to let you down. Not everybody is tight-knit. Not everyone is as respectful. And this is a whole other topic of society and people in general. But what can you do? How can you outsmart these people? How can you stay ahead of the game? How can you not fall for the trap? Because here's the thing. Whenever you lose control, whenever you get aggressive with your words, whenever you get nasty and you enter into that stupid dialogue, you lower your value, you say things you regret, and then you actually go about your business and your life wishing that you never engaged in the first place. So if you want to enter a relationship or have a marriage, or if you want to have a family dynamic, or if you want to interact with people in general, you need to be ahead of this, because I've made this mistake all my life. I'll get aggressive with my words. I'll get nasty. I'll raise my voice. I'll flail my arms around and be angry and aggressive because I think that's naturally what my ego wants to do. But what does that benefit me? How does that outsmart people? It doesn't. It makes me look like an idiot. And it probably will do the same for you. So the first tip here is to let people talk. They'll always reveal their hand. The smartest men stay quiet and they observe everything. Most people can't help but expose their intentions when they talk too much. Words can lie. Body language, tone, and patterns never do. So think about the last spat, argument, or disagreement that you've had, okay? You were talking in reaction because these people are trying to get you to react. They're trying to provoke you, okay? And the easier you are to provoke, every time this happens, you will fall for the trap every time. So let them speak, let them spiral, let them just word vomit. And word vomit is just like words just spewing out their mouths constantly and making a fool out of themselves. The problem is 9 times out of 10, there's no real argument. There's no real problem there with you as such, or there might be a minor one and they make it a mountain out of a molehill because they are irregular with their emotions. They're all over the place. They're angry about a multitude of other things that they can't be bothered to resolve themselves, or life's got them down and they're playing the victim. So who's the easiest target? You. And the more you interact, the more you communicate with them, you're adding fuel to the fire. Imagine a fireplace burning. By interacting, you are throwing more wood, more fire lighters, more gasoline on that fire. And what does it do? It gets bigger, bolder, brighter, hotter, and more intense. Train yourself to listen 80% and speak 20%. I don't care if they're making a fool out of themselves. I don't care if they're humiliating you in public. The quieter you are, the better. Watch how people reveal everything once you stop trying to prove anything or stand up for yourself. Okay? A typical example will be with a woman who's emotionally unstable and trying to unleash and make you the punching bag. Oh, you keep secrets from me. You're nasty to me. Oh, you hurt me. Oh, you do this. You do that. And you want to react. If you let her talk, I've been going through a lot of stress recently. I just don't think anyone cares about me. I'm sick of it. I'm tired. I'm fed up. I hate it. When's it going to happen for me? Why can't I just work in a job that I love? Why is this really getting me down? And I feel like I'm under a lot of pressure. They spiral up, they all come out. And then when they calm down, you're like, okay, I see where you're coming from. Now, I'm not saying that you need to sit there and take emotional abuse, but by listening more and letting them talk, the truth will always come out. Your energy enters the room before you do when you are going into a hostile, difficult, or uncertain situation, especially. So posture. Stand tall with your shoulders back, neck aligned with the floor, shoulder really tightly back, arms out. Stand and pose like a man. Hold eye contact, not intense, but look into their eyes when they speak and listen intently. And composure. All these things assertively, naturally speak louder than words. I was never taught this. I had to learn this the hard way, okay? A man who walks in calm, grounded, instantly commands more respect than someone who won't shut up. If you're trying to make a first impression, especially, and you come in anxious and excitable and like you can't be quiet and you're just like a kid, then you'll be treated like that. And especially after a first interaction, people will judge you that way. People will lose respect for you. People will treat you differently. People will talk down to you. People will walk all over you. So practice walking slower, making deliberate eye contact, and keeping stillness. Confidence is felt, not said. I'm not saying you have to walk into a room and be a mute, but the way you compose yourself means everything. I used to do one of two things. I was very hunched over growing up. I had bad posture and I had no presence as a man. Then I worked hard in the gym and still doing so to build up my posture, broaden my shoulders and stand and be taller. And then, as well, something I didn't realize is I suffered from social anxiety. So if I felt uncomfortable or awkward in a situation, I would like word vomit, talk to people, be very high energy, my heart would be beating out my chest. I'd be very excitable because I was nervous. Then I realized as I got older, I've got nothing to be nervous about. And I'm much better being more chilled and relaxed and just owning who I am. There's nothing to feel uncomfortable anymore. I don't have to fit in anywhere. I don't have to impress people or chase people. This is me. I'm calm here. I'm relaxed. Take it or leave it. Lastly, your emotional control is the ultimate power play. For years, I've been getting provoked by the wrong people, or by people closest to me, because again, when you analyze it and break it down, these people are emotionally irregular. These people haven't got their crap together. These people are all over the place themselves. And what better place to take out their abuse or, frustrations than a strong, stoic, assertive man who's calmer, says it as it is, no BS, and doesn't take any crap as well. But unfortunately, that provokes it even more and adds fuel to the fire. So when the ego gets hurt within us, like I said, which is what this is all about, that's when the monster's unleashed inside of us. That's when we're aggressive. That's when we get personal, get nasty. That's where we think by being louder and ruder, we get everything we want, when actually we're just hurting ourselves in the process. Lose your cool, and you've already lost. Stay calm, you keep the upper hand. Every single time. The one who reacts least controls everything. Now you might say, well, they're getting physical with me. That's a different story. Well, they're in my face and being really verbally abusive. Even so, if you were to master stillness, calmness, and to not react, and to push through that discomfort, the results are incredible. You are not an angry man. You're not a broken man. You're not a toxic man. You're a man who gets provoked. And by getting provoked and prodded, you unleash something that isn't you. It might be a scared little boy, a boy that was bullied heavily, a lot of insecurities, fears, or a supreme lack of confidence. You're not those feelings anymore. You're not that little boy. You're not those insecurities. You are a man now. And no one taught us how to do this. And especially me. And I fall for the trap every time. But I'm working harder to do the opposite. And every time I do and I practice it more, I get better results. So breathe. Pause. Don't react to the bait. And trust me, you'll be baited. Your silence, your smirk, your stillness, that makes you dangerous. And again, you're not trying to hurt these people. You're trying to diffuse. And it doesn't make you weak or submissive. Because at the end of the day, unless you're physically made to do something that you're uncomfortable with, you can still say no. You don't have to agree to it. But you just have to ride the wave. And what we're doing is riding the wave of people's complex emotions, unresolved trauma and pain, and their lack of awareness and their lack of personal growth and development. If somebody gets stuck in a traffic jam and is late and miserable and caught in the rain, they'll take their anger on those nearest and dearest. And who is a better target? The man who's the rock. And think of it as a compliment as well, that you can take it because you're a rock. What happens if you pour water on a rock? Just evaporates and just rolls down the rock. Doesn't stick to the rock. Who cares about a wet rock? I'm not excusing people's bad behavior. But this is bigger than them and ego and everything that goes on inside of us when provoked. You don't need to raise your voice to raise your value. You don't need to explain yourself to be respected. You just need to outsmart the other person. And if you're ready to become the man who moves in silence but commands the room and himself, let me help you. Let's dive deeper into this with personalized ideas and plans cater to you. Book a free discovery call with me. The link's in the description below. I'm working on this and I really want to get there. Remember, you are not a bad person. You're just provoked. So the next time you get provoked, choose this method, because the alternative is a waste of time, energy, and your precious life.